Hey folks, Ray from DCRainmaker.com. Today I've got GoPro's Remo remote. This remote works with the GoPro Hero 5 Black and Hero 5 Silver to allow you to voice-activated control of your Hero 5 Black and Silver from afar. So the idea is that you can do it up to 10 meters away, and that allows you then to go ahead and just either press this button manually or to go ahead and give it voice commands like the Hero 5 Black and Hero 5 session support. So the purpose of today is I want to go ahead and test this and see how well it works. But before we do that, I'll give you a brief unboxing because why not? Okay, so here's the package right here. Pretty straightforward. It's got just a picture on the remote on the front, a blue panel on the side, another blue panel on that side, a picture of a skier, and it looks like a surfer on the back here. And note that it says that it's extending the voice control of your Hero 5 in windy and noisy conditions or environments. So that's a piece we're going to definitely try out, as well as the distance. This is going to go ahead and charge via USB-C, and beyond that, it does say it's compatible with the Hero 5 Black and Hero 5 Session, and we will try out just for the fun of it. So these are the two, Hero 5 Black and Session. Also the Hero 4, just because I'm kind of curious how well it works. So let's go and slice this baby open. There we go. And everything just fell to the bottom of the box, just like that. Leave that over there. So here we go. This is about all there is. We got some plastic stuff here, some hard plastic to keep all the pieces there. We have the manual and updating your camera software and some safety stuff, it looks like. So it looks like we got basically 4 pieces plus paper. So there we go. First we have what appears to be a Velcro strap. Looks like it's moderately long, not like super long, but enough that maybe it'll fit around a winter jacket with this little clip thing there. This one here, but it looks a little tight, honestly, for a winter jacket. Like, I think this is really just going to work for my arm, but not a winter jacket. So it's kind of a bit of a bummer, since they show a picture of a skier there. We have a USB-C cable. So all of the new GoPro stuff uses USB-C, both the Hero 5 Black and the Hero 5 Session, as well as the Karma drone, the Karma controller. Everything is all USB-C. Regular USB on this side that you know and love, but USB-C on this side right there. And then we have 2 clips for it. So once we find the actual, there it is, right there, remote. I'm going to go ahead and show you how this works. So you got one, basically the band clip for this right there. So we can go ahead and slide it in, match the 2 power buttons. Before I do that, I guess I'll show you this real quick. We have a power button there. We have a single button there. And then we have a small USB charging port right there. And that's it. Like, it's pretty, maybe. Well, let's just head outside. We'll talk about it outside. And here again are the components. Last but not least, let's go and quickly test look at the weight of the unit. So the Remo remote by itself is 12 grams. With the strap and thing, it's 21 grams. With the clip-on one, like for a belt clip, you can see right there, it would be a total of 31 grams. And then just for fun, the old unit, I don't have the strap handy, but just to give you some context anyways, 39 units plus the strap. So you're probably looking at like 45 or 46 units, or 46 grams. So obviously a pretty big difference between these two. But again, this has more functionality than this does, and we'll talk about that outside. Okay, so we're back outside here. Now I've got the unit ready to go, but I want to walk through how you pair it up to the Black as well as to the Session, and then I want to talk about whether or not it works with the Hero 4. We'll see if that pairs well or not, and then we'll go ahead and we'll basically line out 10, 20, and 30 meters here on the pavement and see how well it transmits to those 3 different distances, as well as do one quick loop on the bike and see how well it activates in the wind. Remember, the point of it was it said it would work well in the wind, so I'm kind of curious to see how well it works. One thing I want to mention, I mentioned kind of video, is this strap here. So this is a strap that allows you to go ahead and put it on your armband or whatever you want. Now you can see here, this barely makes, I don't have a winter coat on, I'm pretty skinny, so honestly I don't get it. I guess the idea is maybe down your wrist like this, so you can go like this and start it, which is fine, but even then it's still going to be tight on a winter parka. So it's kind of a bit of a bummer they went with this really small strap. Okay folks, so here we go with the GoPro Hero 5 Black, getting the pairing all ready to roll. So I'm just going to simply swipe down from the top there. I'm going to hit the connect button, and then I'm going to go down to the remotes that I want to add. So I'm going to, swipe around the corner here. It's a bit tough to do this way. We'll go connect new device, and I'll see different options. The Capture app, which is the your phone app. The Remo, which is this doohickey right here. And the Smart Remote, which I've already paired just to show how that works. In this case, I'm going to go the Remo, the voice remote. And now I'm going to go ahead and have to hold the power button down on the Remo for 8 seconds. So I'm going to hold this right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then you should see the blue pairing light. There we go. You can see that little light right there turn on. That means it's in pairing mode. And then within a second or so, we should see the GoPro Hero 5 Black find it. It's really pretty straightforward. There we go. And it's connected and it's ready to roll. So see if I press this button right there, it instantly starts recording, and I can press this button again, and it stops recording. So you can see I can press this button right here, instantly starts recording, and I can go ahead and press this button again, and it stops recording. So pretty straightforward. Let's go ahead and get the session paired up. Okay, so here we are with the Hero 5 session. I've got it just simply powered on. I use this bottom button down here to go ahead and enter the different settings modes. So I'm going to go camera settings, stabilize video, voice control, and connection settings. I press this top button right there. Turn off connection, nope. I'm going to go again and change it. Connect new device, yep. And I'm going to change it again. This is the GoPro app, nope, I don't need that. Oops, there we go. So I'm going to change this there. GoPro remote control, Remo, yep. And I'm going to hit this over to get to the checkbox and enter. Now I'm going to put it in pairing mode, so just like before, I'm going to go ahead and hold this down for 8 seconds. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Anytime now would be great. There we go. Maybe I just count too fast right there. The blue mode there, and over here we should see this pop in any second now. And it's thinking, still thinking. There we go, connected. Okay, and this should a quick test to validate it's working. I press this button, and as soon as I press that, it starts recording there. And then I can press it again, and it stops recording. Okay, so next we have the GoPro Hero 4. In this case, I've just simply used a Hero 4 screen to put in the back of the Hero 4 Black to show you this works. They all work the same way. I'm going to go now into the wireless settings menu where I would normally pair a smart remote. In this case, I'm going to go pair and connect here and see if I can get it to pair. My only two choices here are GoPro app or Wi-Fi remote. I'm going to choose the Wi-Fi remote and try to pair it here. So I'm going to hold this down 8 seconds like before to turn it on. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, wait for the blue light, 9, 10. Now we know it's in pairing mode at this point, and I'm going to wait and see what happens. Now I'll give you a bit of a spoiler here, as we've been waiting for a while. It's not going to work, and the reason is simple. This is looking for a Wi-Fi remote, whereas this is actually a Bluetooth smart remote. So this is why it's got such good battery life on it, versus Wi-Fi kind of burns through it a bit quicker. It's also why we have a much lower length or distance we can go. This is 10 meters, 33 feet, versus the GoPro Hero Smart Remote is 600 feet, about 200 meters, quite a bit further, and that's using Wi-Fi. So again, we're going to kind of test this and see how well things cook now in real life. So with this not working, let's go ahead and move on to the Hero 5. Okay, to demonstrate distance, what I have is water bottles. I put these 10-meter markers on it. This is a low-budget production, nothing fancy here. I've got this wheel to measure out the distance. I'm going to measure it from the camera, just because that seems like it makes the most sense to me. So I'm going to basically put them every 10 meters for 30 meters, and it's really that straightforward. So I'm going to go ahead back here and start it at the beginning. So here we go. 10 meters is 33 feet on this little doohickey. That is 10 meters right there. Next, I got my next water bottle. And we're gonna go out now another 10 meters. My mic doesn't work that far, so once I get this far, it's probably gonna suck. That was 20 meters or 66 feet away. And we'll do one more now at 30 meters or 99 feet away. Okay, so there you go. I've got the three distances ready to roll. Now I'm going to do is go put a GoPro camera on each one. They're already activated, ready to roll in terms of the voice commands or the commands to the remote, and we're going to see how well this thing all works. So I've just run into the first problem with the Remo remote. In case it's another spoiler, there's going to be a lot of problems with the remote. The first problem is it actually only pairs to one GoPro. So I had 3 different GoPros to put on each water bottle, and that doesn't work. And the reason is Bluetooth Smart only allows one simultaneous connection at a time. So once I connect to this, I can go ahead and start this, for example, and that starts one of these cameras. This one here, the Hero 5 Session, the last one I paired, the one it has its same connection to. So that's sort of a solid bummer, whereas a smart remote connects to any number of cameras you want. It just works awesomely. So that's the first piece there. So we're going to go with one camera at a time. I'm going to go and turn this one off and use this one because it's a little bit easier to see the red light from further away, and we'll try it out. So here we go. Problem number 2, you can only pair it with one device at once. So even though I've paired it with each one of these, once it's been repaired with something else, you have to redo the entire pairing process again, which is even more annoying. Like, I don't understand why they thought this was the right choice. I'm guessing maybe if you have one camera and you never want to go more than 10 meters away, then fine. Okay, so we got this thing all repaired back up again. I can press this button here. It instantly starts recording right there. You can see that on this barely visible light right there. Press it again, it stops recording. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on a 10-meter marker here. And I'm going to walk back to the camera. I'm going to keep on walking, and I'm just going to stand right next to the camera, and I'm going to press this button. So here it is right there, and press the button, and it should be recording. Let's go check it out now. And it is recording. Good. So that worked at 8 seconds. So now I'm going to do, it worked at 10 meters, sorry. So now I'm going to go ahead and move it all the way down to the next one, the 20-meter marker. And it's still recording. I've left it recording at this point just to keep things simple. And I'm going to go ahead and try to stop and record it now. So press this button once. And in theory it stops. Let's go check it out. And good deal. It didn't need stop recording, which is great. So now I'm going to go 30 meters. And we're going to go all the way back to the beginning here and see if it works. Now I just felt this buzz, which I think means it's out of range, but here we go. I press the record button. We'll go see if it actually recorded. And it did. It actually started recording. Take my water bottles back. Okay, so now that we've tested the range, it's actually not bad. It went all the way out to 30 meters there, line of sight. It's obviously more impacted by trees and crap like that. Let's go ahead and get on the bike and try out the voice side of things and see how well that works. Okay folks, so I'm here on a bike ready to test this out and kind of explain how this all works when you're actually moving fast with wind speed and all that jazz. So what I've got here is the Remo remote on my forearm there, left hand side, and the reason is that I tried putting it up on my shoulder up there and it just didn't go around that. And again, as I said earlier, I don't have big arms, so it's really rather silly they made the strap so small. So here is where it's going to be. Next I've got the GoPro Hero 5 Black down here. It's mounted up to that, so it's kind of ready to go there as soon as we're ready to go. And I just thought I actually took a picture, so GoPro, stop. And there we go. You'll see it stop in a split second there, or not, because it just doesn't want to. So I'm going to tell it to stop manually because I really don't want all those photos. It's changed the mode to the camera mode. So now this is the point to use the Remo remote. So what I've done is I've disabled voice control on the unit itself. So I've actually took this out of the room, put it totally in a microwave somewhere else, and validated it wasn't controlling it. And then I went ahead and put it back on here so I can do voice control from the remote itself. So I can say GoPro video mode. And there you go. You can see it went ahead and just went into video mode there and even started recording automatically. GoPro, stop recording. And it stopped recording. So pretty straightforward. What I'm going to do now is get up to speed here on the bike and demonstrate that. The reason I put this down here, by the way, is just for the hell of it. It looked like a neat viewpoint. And it also kind of makes it a bit out of the way for anything else. Wind standpoint, all that jazz. So here we go. And we are up and running. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and give the command to tell the GoPro to start recording. So, GoPro, start recording. And it says it's recording down there. Can't quite tell. So let me get through this little bridge here. Pull over and we'll double check and see if it's actually recording. It is. Good news, it's recording. So far so good with a bit of wind noise there. I'm just gonna try it now. At this level, GoPro, stop recording. And it did stop recording as well. Now what's kind of cool is that the remote will actually beep audibly as well as go ahead and blink and vibrate. So you can actually feel it. You can have a light coat on like this, so I can feel it no problem. Versus a ski parka, you might not hear it. Now I'm in a bit of a headwind. GoPro, start recording. Go ahead and validate that, make sure it is indeed recording down there. And yep, you can see 48, 49, etc. Recording no problem. So, as you can see here on the bike, really simplistic test, but we had wind, a bit of headwind coming around the corner there, plus my speed, and just working right there. I can still, of course, hit the stop button anytime, so I can just go boop. It stops automatically. I can see that. You'll notice it's gone back to the occasionally blue blinking light, meaning there's a connection there, versus red, meaning it's recording. So let's go back down to the K here and look at the difference between the smart remote and the Remo and why you might choose one or the other. Okay, now that we've finished up some basic tests, let's talk a little bit about why you might choose one remote versus the other. Now this is a variant of the smart remote. This is actually the second generation, older one. I've lost my newest one somewhere. But they all kind of work the same way. The newer smart remotes, also Wi-Fi as well. And it has some advantages on basically an additional button there, more settings control. And so that's how we get to comparing the Remo with these two remotes. So with the Remo, you have basically just one button. This button right here to simply stop and start whatever mode you're in. But you can change your mode just by voice controls. Whereas the older remotes, you have to change your mode, you press the mode button, which wasn't really that big of a deal, but it doesn't have voice control. This older remote will work with the Hero 4, Hero 5, Hero 3, Hero basically everything. Whereas Remo is only going to work with the Hero 5. So if you have an older Hero 4, definitely do not get this. It won't work. I demonstrated it won't work. Please don't get it. With the Remo, it's all about voice control. It's the ability to go ahead and put it on your wrist, just pull your wrist close to you real quick like that, and give a voice control and hope it works, or at least it should work. That'd be great for things like downhill skier. You know, I'm an avid skier. You've seen a lot of my videos, and sometimes it's a pain in the ass to go and hit that remote control, especially if the camera's on your head or somewhere else on a steep slope or something where you're moving really quickly. So I can easily just have my poles go up like this, shout a command at it, and I'm done, don't have to think about it. By the same token, it's also pretty darn easy to do it like this on my ski pole and stuff like that. A little different if you're a snowboarder where you may not have or want something on your hands at all times. So this is where it's definitely better for that. Both units are fully waterproof, so you can dunk them both. There's no issues there. Both require charging in some degree. You know, it's probably going to vary a little bit. GoPro has not published exact battery specs for how long this takes or how long it lasts. I found even just doing this demo today that I was already out of juice, but I don't know how much juice it had to begin with. So it may have only had a tiny bit there. Next, if you have multiple cameras, Remo is definitely not for you. This only works with one camera and only one camera, as you saw earlier in the demo. As soon as I paired it to another camera, it lost pairing with the first camera permanently, in fact, not even just temporarily, permanently. Whereas with the smart remote, you can pair it with up to 50 cameras at once, so you can control a whole crap ton of GoPros if you have that many. Starts recording. Distance-wise, this is officially good up to 10 meters to 33 feet, but you just saw down here a little bit ago, we actually got up to 30 feet, or 30 meters, sorry, so that's almost 100 feet, which is pretty cool. That definitely went further than I would have thought. No problem here on this bike doing it, of course, a much closer confines. Whereas this remote is 600 feet, or about 180 or so meters, so again, quite a bit further distance-wise, and I suspect you can go even further with this in perfect line of sight conditions. From a price standpoint, they're both equal. The smart remote is $79, and the Remo is also $79. So there's kind of a wash on the price side of things. So there you go, comparing the two different units. Personally, if it's me and if I had to choose one right now, I'm going to choose the most recent edition of this remote. Again, this is a slightly older one, the one that has 3 buttons. That's how you can tell them really quickly apart. Versus the Remo, as nice as it is to have the voice control, for me, I find the ability to simply, have all the controls and buttons and change camera views and all that kind of stuff without any guessing, because this will confirm with you that it's done that, whereas this, will only basically show you that red light saying it's done something, but not necessarily what you thought it did. So for me, I'm going to go with the smart Wi-Fi remote pretty much every time. So with that, thanks for watching. Definitely go hit the like button down below as well as the subscribe button. Don't forget there's tons more GoPro Hero 5 and Karma Drone and Karma Gimbal videos up there in the corner, so you can get lots more information about that. Lots of goodness coming as well, especially over the next week or two as the Karma Drone gets officially released out into the wild. Have a good one. Now to get this stupid sticky remote off. It's always the tricky part, but there we go. Happy